Hi, this is Dr. Chen, the instructor of your business calculus class. Today we are going to study section 1.2. Let's start. Section 1.2, study about the linear functions and slopes. And those two concepts are very important in studying derivatives because derivative is no more than the slope of the tangent line at a certain spot of a function. So, what information does a slope tell us? And that will follow us. The learning goals include 1. Be able to form an equation of the line, either given the slope and a point or given 2 points. And please focus on the slope and the point formation, and also we can use the slope and the vertical intercept format. And 2, be able to find the unit and the meaning of the slope in applications. And we'll go through examples to show how to find the unit and how to explain what this value of the slope mean. And 3, be able to interpret the vertical intercept in applications. So let's take a look at lines and the slopes, and we know that not all lines represent a function. The exception is a vertical line. So those two groups are the particular lines. One is a horizontal line, which means the slope is 0. Okay, the slope is 0. And the equation is y equals 3 or y equal -2, depend on the location, vertical location of this horizontal line. And the vertical line, the slope is not defined, and the equation is x equal a. A is the x location, and this line does not represent a function. In general, we have 2 types of lines other than the vertical and the horizontal. We have lines tilted, and if it goes this direction, okay, it's increasing, and or the positive slope, has a positive slope. Otherwise, we have a negative slope corresponding to a decreasing function. So how do we find the slope? Okay, the slope, if we are given a line on graph, we see that the slope represents the vertical change, that's y2 minus y1, and divided by horizontal change, x2 minus x1. When the line is increasing, and we see y2 is always bigger than y1, and x2 is always bigger than x1 in this case, so the slope is positive. In decreasing case, we realize the slope is negative because y2 is lower. Okay, y2 is lower. Okay, so a linear function have a general form as mx plus b, and this is a typical slope y-intercept form, and we use it a lot. Okay, so let's look at the other forms. Well, we don't really use that often, but slope and point format is also convenient. Now let's go through the example quickly, and if we are given the slope and a point, okay, how do we form the slope and point equation or the slope intercept equation? And also how do we plot the graph? Okay, so for the slope point equation, it's direct because slope is given and the point is given, so we just plug in. For slope intercept equation, we usually go this way by plug in the slope and then plug in this point. Okay, notice 2 is x value, 1 is y value, and then solve for b. And in this case, we have b equals 5. Now, to plot the graph, and as a line, we only need 2 points. So 1 point is given, and we just need another. And the most convenient point is by plugging in 0 of x, and then we have y equal 5. So link 0, 5, and 2, 1, we have the line. And please go through example 2 by yourself, and we will focus on number 3. Okay, let's go through example 3. Example 3 are given 2 points on the line, and we are looking for the equation of the line. So in that case, we need to find the slope first. So plug in these 2 points to find the slope, and notice that, okay, the points has to be in the corresponding location. If we pick 5 and 3, and then 5 is x value, 3 is y value, okay, and they are both in front, and then we have 1, 1, and then 1 and 1 second term. So in that way, we have the correct sign of the slope. And after we find the slope, and if we need the slope-intercept form, again, we use the slope and then use one of the points to solve for b. Now we have the task of applications, questions, and we need to find the value, unit, and the meaning of the slope and vertical intercept. So here comes a story. We have Mark has been working for a cloth manufacturing firm for 3 weeks, and his wage is $600 per week. So now please notice that. Okay, here we comes 3 weeks and the weekly wage. So the value we are given is 3 for x and 600 for y. Okay, for y. And 6 weeks later, okay, which means he has been working for 9 weeks. Okay, 9, and then his salary is $630 per week. Okay, now we assume that Mark's weekly wage salary is a linear function of the number of weeks, x. So let's pay attention to these units. Okay, so x is measured by number of weeks, okay, and s is measured by dollars per week, okay, dollars per week. So our task include find the formula for s as a function of x, and then we want to find what is Mark's weekly wage when he has worked for 20 weeks, and what is the slope of the line, and including value, unit, and the meaning. Okay, and then what is the vertical intercept, what's the meaning. Okay, so first let's form the equation, and as I mentioned, we have 2 sets of 2 points of data. One is x1 equal 3 and s1 equal 600, and then the second point x equal 9 and s equal 630. If we plug in these values in, we got the slope equal 5. So then we have s equals 5x plus b, and plug in 3 and 600 into equation and solve for b, we get b equals 585. So we have the equation, and using the equation we can find the solution for number b by plugging in x equal 20. That will be Mark's weekly wage when he has worked for the firm for 20 weeks. Now let's focus on slope. Okay, so from this equation we see that slope is 5. Now what is the unit of the slope? Okay, the unit of the slope is hours. Okay, so unit of m is always the unit of y and divided by unit of x. Okay, so here the unit of x is a number of weeks. So here we got the weeks. And unit of y is dollars per week. So if we divide, then we will get dollars per week over week. So what's the meaning of that slope 5? And if you look at this equation, you realize, okay, so for every additional week Mark has worked, and then his weekly wage will go up by $5. Okay, and we will have more examples in the problem solving section. So number D, we want to explain what the vertical intercept mean, and here B is 585. Since 585 means when x equals 0, so that represents Mark's starting weekly wage. This concludes section 1.2. So let's go and do the quiz and compare with the solution. If you get solution correct, then you don't need to watch the video. Otherwise, you can watch the quiz solution video for the answer. And you can always refer to the problem solving, either the video or the PDF file to help you to do the homework and also do the quiz.